purchase our strippers and wax from him. He's gonna go over some oral care procedures. John?
Hello, everyone. I am the shortest salesman that calls on Davidson County Schools. Is that pretty accurate, Wynn? I said I'm the shortest salesman that calls on Davidson County Schools. Including men and women, or but that's okay. That's okay. I used to be.
That's why you're supposed to do your product.
Well, yeah, it helps. It has benefits. It has the opposite of that too. But I used to be probably the youngest salesman that called on Davidson County Schools, and I hope before long I'll be the oldest salesman that's calling on Davidson County Schools. But y'all that kept me around for a while, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank you. I appreciate every one of you guys. This is a special place to me. So thank you for all you do. You make me look good most of the time, and I appreciate that too, because I need all the help I can get. Since it's Halloween, I thought we'd just keep it simple. You guys are at a point now that you can teach me something about floor care problems. So I just thought we'd go over a few things. I'm going to ask you a question, and then whoever comes up with the answer first gets a lollipop. Now, I noticed y'all already had some, but these are the big ones. So these are going to be better. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw them to you. So I don't want anybody to jump up and steal it. Yeah, I know. And I don't want to hit anybody in the eye. So you're going to pay attention. All right. Y'all have your thinking caps on? Ready? All right. What? I can't throw it that far. Wynn, you and Jason cannot play. Lisa, you can if you want to. All right. What is the name of the floor finish you use? You got it. Hey, I'm ashamed of the rest of y'all. My God. Okay, this isn't even on my card, and you said 5 gallons. How's it packed? You said that. There you go. Yeah, it's not in a 5-gallon jug. Are y'all buying something from somebody else? 5-gallon box. Box. Well, 2.5.
He said how to code it, and it's 2.5.
No, he said, how's it packaged? And it is
Hey, this is fun. I'm kind of enjoying it. Typically, how many coats do you put in the classroom? 3. How many coats would you like for them to put in the bathroom? I mean, in the classroom. 3. That's right. I'm going to give everybody something on that. How many coats in the hallway?
4.
Who said 4 first?
She did.
You did. Hey, I want y'all to know there hasn't been a single guy. That's right. Okay.
Watching.
All right. Tell me, what are the 2 most important things when you're applying the floor finish? The 2 most important things. That part's coming. But I'm talking about as you're applying the floor finish. What are the 2 most important things?
Overlap the wax.
Well, that's important. Okay. All right. Well, now that's one of them. One of the most important is to make sure either your first coat goes to the baseboard and the rest of them stay away, or the way I prefer it is my last coat to go to the baseboard. I take an area, if I'm doing it 3, I keep 6 inches out, 6 inches, 6 inches. So start 18 inches out, work your way in. And why would you do that? Did I give you a sucker? Did I give you a sucker? I'm not going to give a sucker for why, but there are 2 reasons why. First of all, it'll keep the build up and it makes it so much easier next year when it's time to strip. And you all know that. And hey, anything you can do to make next year easy is worth doing. So, well, I want some guys to, what's something else that's important?
Drying out.
Well, that's important. That's going to come on another question. I'm not going to tell you which question. The other thing that's important is that you put thin coats. Thin coats. That was what I was looking for. Can I get one?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Tell me one other thing. Who remembers Greg Nicholas? What was the one thing he kept talking about when he was applying wax? You remember, he never did use a wax mop system. He always poured it out. What was the one thing he kept telling you guys?
Keep your mom wet.
Keep it closed.
That's who said that. God, first guy. That's it. I had to give him a hint. That's keep that lid on the wax when you're not pouring. Yep.
Why do they keep the lid on the wax?
Because there's a lot of evaporation. As soon as you unscrew that lid, there's a lot of evaporation going on. You lose a lot of the main components. And years ago, waxes are different than they used to be. But years ago, heck, we'd leave wax sitting in the pail and come back and wax the next day. Waxes back then didn't hold up very well either. But and those are some of the reasons why. So very important to do that.
So that means they can wax this room, leave the lid off, and get the next room, the wax is not gonna look good, right?
Well, sometimes it may look good right then, but you notice a lot of those problems come later, during the evaporation and coating. How much time do you want to have drying time between each coat?
20 minutes?
It said 20 minutes. That's the main thing. I'm going to give you a sucker.
I don't need one. I'm a diabetic.
I don't have the non-sugar. Who else wants a sucker that hadn't gotten one yet? Here, you get one. 20 minutes is what they say on the package, but guys, we all know when the humidity's high, you're gonna have to wait longer for that. On the rainy days, those aren't the days you want to really do your waxing if you can help it. How can you tell if the floor's not dry and ready for another coat? What's that? That's one way.
What do you say?
Sticky to the touch. Anything else? The other, I'm gonna have, the other thing is it still got a, some wet look to it, in areas. And a lot of times, we get in a rush, and we'll have certain areas that are dry, but you can still see wet puddled areas. Yeah, Jason?
About a white haze.
A light haze?
White haze.
White haze, that could be too. But a lot of times you can tell just by the touch, but not always. It's so important to let those coats fully evaporate and be dry before you lay your next coat on. And you'll notice the big difference later on in the year. You may not notice it right away, but you will. You'll notice it later. Let's see if I have any other questions on that. I think that's about it. Okay, now this is going to be, I'm going to be down on my knees crying if y'all don't know the answer. What's the name of the floor strip we use? Here. Here, this is just going up. Remember? That hurts my knees. That's right. That makes me feel good. Thank you, guys. All right. What is the dilution ratio on the heat? Who said? What'd you say? No, I said, what is the dilution rate that you want to use on the heat when you're getting ready to strip, when you're pouring it into your bucket? Yeah. A bit more than that.
1 to 6.
7 gallons.
No, who said 1 to 6?
1 to 6.
All right, 1 to 6 is pretty much right there on it, 1 to 6 or 1 to 7. I would have expected you to know the answer to that. Oh! All right, here's another. Now this is an important. When you're using the heat and you're mixing it, do you use hot water or cold water? All right, these are all going up in the air. Don't let them hit you in the eye. There you go. You'd be surprised how many phone calls I get. Heat's not working. Heat's not working. I go out there and I just say, let me see you mix it. Let's work it with hot water. It's cold water does so much better. All right, how much dwell time after you've mixed it and put it out on the floor?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Who said 20? You're gonna get sick. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Now here's another trick question. If you know the answer, once you put it out on the floor and you're letting it dwell, Greg Nicholas did one thing that I've done ever since he taught me that, and it's been a great thing. He had a little tool that he made himself. Do y'all remember that? And what did you do? Did y'all hear that? God, you're going to get sick too. He made his own doodad pad, but he made a big, took an 18-inch dust mop frame, and then he cut a strip pad and tied it on to the bottom. And what you do while the stripper's dwelling, just walk around the room, and that scratches up the floor a little bit.
That's what we do.
Okay, good. I mean, I know a lot of you do it because I've seen it. I'm surprised nobody else straightened that out. I love that tool, and I don't have to sell it to you. Hey, when did you buy some? If I could come up, no. All right, if all the finish doesn't come up off the floor, your first strip. You did do it again, but what did Greg say to do? Did he say to throw more stripper out?
Put more water out.
Yeah, throw more water. What I don't want you to have to do is strip the floor and then go ahead and go to all that trouble to get it up and rinse it up, and you hadn't gotten all the wax off the floor. So what is something else that you do to make sure you've gotten all the wax off the floor? Well, before you rinse it. What did you say? That's it. Who has not had a sucker that sits straight? There you go. Uh-oh, give her that sucker.
Put his eye out.
That's right. Scrape it a little bit with your scraper, and if you don't get any residue, you know you've got it. And I go all over a room, different places doing that before I go to the trouble of rinsing it up. What is the most important part? Now I'm going to get two suckers on this one. What's the most important part of the strip process? Did you say rinse? Who said rinse? You did. You get two. Y'all, that rinse means everything. It means everything. So make sure you've done a great job. We know the process. Wynn was real big about after you've taken it up first, throw a whole bucket of water down. Just let it flow. Spread it out and then suck that back up. You cannot over-rinse. If you've done a good rinse job, you're not ever going to have any problems. Even if you didn't get all the stripper up. I mean, all the wax up. Okay, let's see. And what are the two things that you look for before applying wax to the floor? What'd you say? Who said dry? Yeah, that's actually one of them. Yep. There's one that's. What's that? Well, right. And how do you do that? Well, you got to look. Sometimes you can't see it. He was saying to make sure there's no powdery residue on the floor. And before I ever go over, start putting my wax down, I either take my hand or a microfiber cloth. If you've got a dark one, and just rub it across the floor. And if you've got a white, powdery substance on there, what do you have to do? That's right. I'm not giving you enough. Perfect. Yes, it's up. Let's see here. There's number 3. Hey, I've lost one of my cards. Here it is. I found it. It was stuck. I already knew what the questions were. Okay. All right. What is the most important thing about maintaining your floors after you've gotten waxed, school year started? Keep it clean. Yeah. What kind of mop? No, I'm looking at you. All right. Did I already give you some?
Yeah, give him one.
All right, here you go. How much dust mopping, guys. I mean, daily dust mopping. Now, what would another important thing be? There are actually a lot of important, but I'm talking about the most important.
Clean your front entrance.
Well, that's coming later. That's coming later.
Clean your front entrance.
Hey, this, I know. There you go. Yeah, your front entrance areas and any entrance area where people are coming in the building, keeping those mats clean, keeping that entrance area cleaned off makes a huge, huge difference. I mean, we would all expect that a lot of dirt comes in from people's feet, but more comes in just from blowing, you know, when they open those doors. So they really do make a big effort, Wynn and Jason, to keep good matting. You guys have great matting. If you keep those matting areas clean, it makes a huge difference. All right, as far as the next important thing about cleaning the floor would probably be
Washing.
what'd you say?
Floor washing. Machine.
Well, auto scrubbing?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to mop it. I'm going to throw you one because, man, I hope I can get it back.
Come on, man. Here I go.
There you go. It's keeping your floors mopped, yes, or auto scrub with what kind of product? No, not, I'm just talking about cleaning your floor.
Oh, the neutralizer.
The neutral floor cleaner. Anybody know the name of the neutral floor cleaner? It smells real good. DSI neutral floor cleaner. Here, I like the name of that, so I'm just going to throw 2 more back up in there. There we go. Now, I think it's already come out, but I've got one more hard question. What's the name of the Restore product? No. Who said, I want a guy who said reshine. Hey, you already got one. Anybody else said reshine? Here you go. It is, it's reshine.
It used to be reclaim though.
And the paint is what you got. So that makes it feel. Here goes another one. What is the dilution ratio on the reshine? That's close. That was close. Well, can't be, but I'm looking for one. I usually
2 ounces a gallon.
somebody holler out another one. It does. So here, well, I can't give you. Well, here, have another. Typically, I like to do 4 to 1 on my reshine. All right, here's the other question for reshine. How often should you use it?
Once a month. For you, bud.
Well, you should use it
Once a
before you
month.
buff,
Once a month. I mop through water twice.
He must have been dead.
Right. Well, basically, you don't want to overuse that product. That's the main thing. But if you're buffing every week, once a week, in nice open areas where people are coming in the buildings, you use it every 3rd buff. So once every 3 weeks. If you're buffing once a month, it's okay to probably use it every time. If you're only buffing once a month. But if you're buffing once a week, do not use it every time. And it's perfectly okay to put that product in your auto scrubber and go over your floor with your auto scrubber. You do not have to pre-clean with that product. And last question, and then I'll let y'all ask me a few. What is the most important thing about floor care? The number one most important thing? Yeah, I know, it's heartbreaking. Because I've seen the floors look gorgeous when y'all do them, and I know when they come in after a couple of days, you want to wring their necks. But wait a minute, I gotta get the answer on this. That's important. But the answer I'm looking for is you guys are the most important about floor care. You know, it's not our products, it's you guys. And you guys do a great, awesome job. You really do. And I don't think I heard from maybe one school all summer long this year. I mean, you guys have really got it down. Either that or some people ran into some issues and didn't call. But I want to make sure that you do. And I'm going to leave some of my cards over here on this corner table where Wynn is. And I want you guys, if you run into an issue, take my card, call me on my cell phone. And we can talk about it, or if I need to, I'll come see you. So, and what was your question on how do you get this keep the stuff?
Oh, no. What the question?
Okay.
You were saying like,
Oh, you were going to answer. Right.
We go over rust and ring. We had an issue with rust and ring, and it's, for one thing, we need to have safety glasses and stuff on when we use that.
I cannot stress how careful you have to be with that product. And you guys, the rust and ring removal, does everybody know what that is? It's not a product that you use every time you clean the toilets or the sinks. It's one you use periodically. And if you're having to use it more than once a month in certain areas, we ought to probably look at some other things we can do then. But always have gloves on. Always have safety glasses on. If that product splashes back on you or gets on your skin, that's not a good thing. And I'm actually working on another rust and ring remover that's going to be a little safer. But if you use that product, you know how quickly it works. And for something to work that quickly, it's going to have some acid in it, and it does. So make sure that you don't, if a new custodian comes in that's working with you, don't just give them that product and tell them to get clean. I'd almost rather whoever the lead is, or whoever knows really how to use it, and to respect it and be very careful. Anything else? And guys, today, I was up in Wilkes County Schools last week, and they are really, a lot of the people there who just refuse to use their gloves. They just refuse. Wear your gloves anyway. It's so important. And I don't sell gloves here. I'm not trying to sell more gloves. But man, I wear them all the time. We've just got more things to be concerned about than we ever did. And just the cleaners that you're using that absorb in your skin can be just as bad as the germs that we're afraid of too. Any other questions? You ready for me to stop? Have you got anything else with the floors that? Okay. Well, I've taken pictures of your floors before. Y'all don't even know it, and I've got them in my phone. I can show them to you. Wynn didn't take my phone from me. Y'all did great. You got an A, and I'm going to leave the rest of these suckers except the two that I got. And you guys come together. And I love all of you, and I appreciate you. And please call me if you need. Thanks.
Thank you, John. One thing that John alluded to, and I don't think he covered what Jason wanted, was the rust and ring. We've had some issues of using it for things other than rust and ring removal. Guys, read the label. If it says clean the toilet with it, clean the toilet with it. Don't clean the doorways with it, okay? Read the label for all your products. Because I'm telling you, if it's a workers' comp issue, and you've used it, you hadn't had your PPE on, and you used it for something other than what it was designed to use, it's not gonna be good, okay? Fuel oil ratings. Some of y'all are cheating on your fuel oil ratings. Yeah, Because you can tell when the paper comes in, it was wrote down 11 inches. So maybe go ahead and write down 11 inches for all week. Be sure to read them and be as accurate as you can with it, please. It's very important that we keep up with one fuel oil. Make sure we don't have a leaky tank. Make sure we don't have visitors borrowing our fuel oil. We have several tanks that are in the ground. We have several tanks that's in the ground that is not being used, but we still need to take the readings on them. Then North, Middle, Central, Middle, and Pilot will eventually not be used. We still keep sending in the readings. Okay? We're fixing to switch Pilot over to natural gas. We got one in the yard in Denton where the high school was at that's not being used. We still got fuel oil in it, okay? Fax all readings in before 10 a.m. on Friday. Keep an close eye on your propane tanks. Call Lisa if you see a gauge is less than 30%, so we can notify the gas company. Sometimes we have a hard time getting AmeriGas out there. They get booked, and it's hard to get them out there. Again, I touched on custodial orders. Guys, you need to take a look around your custodial closets, your teachers' lounges, gather your stuff back up, get it all back in the closet, so that we're not sending an abundant amount of stuff out that's not getting used, because it all has dates on it, so we gotta be sure we use it before the date expires. UniFirst dust mops, please send in the green and white striped invoice you signed to Lisa as soon as possible. You don't have to put these in a manila folder. If you'll just fold it over, you don't even have to staple it, just fold it over, put Lisa on there, or put maintenance on there, it'll get to the right people. Imagine her sitting there and opening 30 pieces of brown folders every Friday to get one little sheet of paper out of it. Okay? Just put maintenance on there, I guarantee she'll get it. Some more things on cleaning that we had to touch on today. Proper cleaning the bathrooms. How do you clean a bathroom properly? Start at the bottom, work up. Do your floors, go up your walls. In the classrooms, start at the top, work down. If you have lights out and you think it's a ballast, you drop the lens, place a piece of paper on the lens, send in that you got ballast out, and the guys see that piece of paper laying on top of the lens, they'll change the ballast. If you change bulbs, you need to date your bulbs. Take your Sharpie on the end, put on there the date you installed it. If you go back and that bulb's out before, it burns out before the warranty's up, we get credit for it. Be sure that you're storing your fluorescent bulbs in the boxes they come in. Don't have your trash can wheels like that over there and have them sticking in there, because they're going to start inspecting our storage of bulbs because of the mercury that's in them, and they will be fining us if we don't have bulbs in the boxes. Open the box, take the burnt bulbs out, the good bulbs out, save your box, put the burnt bulbs back in, you send them back into us, we have to send them off to the recycling company. Don't throw them in the dumpster. Any CFL bulb has to come back to us. Again, read your labels. Read your labels. What's the best thing to kill yellow jackets with? You all use it. It's about $4 a gallon. Gasoline. But that have a label on there to use it for yellow jackets, so that's using the product inconsistent with this label. Okay, that's what we're getting at. Some of the wash cleaning we had this year, I heard wasn't very good, but we're trying to get something a little bit different, maybe to work a little better. If you have an issue with the product, you need to email Jason. He'll get it taken care of. These guys want our business, so they'll take care of these products and how to work. As long as you use them correctly, don't mix products. Don't put a little bit of Nutri-Cleaner in your mop bucket and put something else in that, so you could create an explosion. Who, me? Again, if you would keep your entryways clean, main entrances to the schools, if you'll keep those clean, the kids won't track the dirt in. And when they open the door, the leaves won't all blow in. If you'll clean those daily, make you a schedule out. We can make a schedule out for you. Clean those areas daily. If you keep that dirt outside, that's less cleaning you have to do. Where they come in from the playground, go out, blow the area off around the door, put your mats down, be sure your mats, I see the mats are supposed to be the doors out on the playground at the time. If there's a wet spot on the playground, the teachers come out right out there and throw the mud. Those mats, those blue mats, they're very expensive, so we gotta keep them clean. If you keep them clean, you'll trap the dirt. Yes, some of the doors won't swing open and swing over, just slide them back a little bit. Curbs and gutters, where you come in around the schools, we're getting into the winter season. If your curbs and gutters are not clean, that water has nowhere to go. Your asphalt, your walkways are gonna be slick, because the water's gonna trap, the water's gonna freeze. Anything you can do right now to prevent water from trapping on your property for the winter, the whole idea is gonna be to get that ice up this winter. I don't have nothing to get it up with. A few brooms, push mower, blow it out in the middle of the road, backpack blower, blow it out. Don't blow it down in the drains. That's gonna stop up the drain. Blow it back up in the yard. When you mow it, mow away from the curb. Blow your clippers back to the middle of the yard. Don't blow them out in the yard, not into the street. Little things like that can save you a lot of time. It's a whole lot easier to ride down one more is to carry a broom or backpack blower around. Again, I mentioned weed killers earlier. Don't spray weed killer in ditches. Yes, it's gonna be a little extra work with the weed eater, but we've got to maintain that vegetation so that ditch don't wash away. Y'all seen it where we got ditches where the parents pull off in the afternoon to pick up the kids? Some of them bulldozers can't go through. Anybody got any questions for me? Is everybody, yes ma'am?
The light fixtures, get back to that. I've had lights with papers in them for 2 years. They still ain't ever fixed them.
Okay. Send me an email. Everybody got my email? Everybody's email address, the last, after the app part's the same.
Yeah.
Most of them, mine is W. Conrad, and at Davis and all that other stuff. Send me an email. Okay?
We're talking about paper towels, we can talk about what rules you made, so they're not gonna. I don't know if we should maybe send in to the principal and say something. Because they just, whatever they do.
We got to do our best. Some of the paper towels are thinner now, so they're gonna take a few more.
Yeah, but we using 80,000 and we're the smallest school in the county.
Yep.
Since school started.
One issue we have is paper products, people flush down the toilet, it's not biodegradable. Stops up the toilets. These wipes that they're buying for the wipes that they're buying for the children that have diapers that have to be changed by an adult, they're flushing those down, stopping in the sewer system. Please, if you see that happen, you need to bring to your principal's attention. You can't afford to have sewer blockage. You can't in these days.
Didn't they say
What y'all
that
thought?
they
It was a
flush?
mess. Do what?
Didn't they say they're flushable? We can flush those. Is what they say? Yeah.
Can't flush it. Stops up the sewer system. Okay?
You want to go over ice melt?
Yes, ice melt. We had a very cold season last year. We used a lot of ice melt. We were one of the few counties around the state that had any ice melt. So Jason pre-ordered. He read the almanac.
That's right. Yeah, 3 years prior.
We had a lot left over from years before, but we were very fortunate, very lucky. We had ice melt. We was able to keep school going. If you use it sparingly. Bought your little spinners, put it in there. A little bit goes a long way. You go out there feeding it like you do with chickens. It don't take long. It don't take long, you go through a box, when you got a strip of ice, it's gone because that's the way you handle it, okay? Use the experiment with your windmill, and it won't blow back on you. These are special designed cedars, and don't throw it back on you. It's not like those grass cedars, it throws it all out front, nothing comes backwards. Be sure you rinse that thing out after you get through with it, hang it upside down so it'll dry. Because those gears are plastic, and that stuff will heat them up. After the snow's gone or the ice is gone, be sure you blow your sidewalks off. The stuff it's not supposed to eat up the sidewalks, but we have had some cases where it has eaten up the sidewalks. The worst thing is tracking it in the school. It will eat wax stuff like nobody's business. It'll leave a good residue on the floor. So again, keep it outside. Okay? Yeah, we had some stuff last year. We tried a spray product, and we went out and sprayed some of the mobile classroom ramps. It seemed to work real well. So if you have ramps outside, be sure that you use some of that chemical. You put it back, you pump up a sprayer, go out sort of like the state does, pre-treat the ramp. Snow's on it, go out there, you can take a brush spray and push the snow off. But if we're calling for more that night, we're not in school, leave it on there. That's the way you ain't got to push it the one time. Once you push, that treatment's gone.
That's not on the custodial order form, so if you will, send me an email, the ones that want to try it.
Liquid pre-treater. And it goes a long way, because I took a gallon myself. I can't remember what school I went to, and I did every ramp at that school, just to see how far we go. Did all of it, maybe in Southwood, I can't remember, but I did a bunch of ramps.
What are you talking, the metal ramps or the concrete?
Sir,
You're talking the metal ramps or the concrete?
any ramp, any ramp that's outside the school, just start spraying it back up. Don't spray it no farther, because you're gonna get them shoes, then where's it gonna be?
Pre-ring,
Gonna be in the classroom.
so, pre-treatment. I can't think, it's some kind of step, I can't remember the name of it. Step ahead, that's
Step
it.
ahead, yeah.
Thank you.
It is expensive, but so is your time, so use it, don't abuse it. We used it at the main office some last year, it worked real well there too. Anybody got any questions or concerns? A lot of you having issues with your hand wash things not cutting off. We've been replacing some of the faucets, some of them replaced with cartridges, some of them replaced. We're required to use the meter faucets. We're taking out some of the old meter faucets because we can't no longer get parts for them. Some of you mentioned about the hot water. It's like Josh said, as long as you got running water and soap, the hot water is just to make you feel better. Your hands are cold. Most of our older schools don't have hot water in the restaurants, just in the kitchen. They want the one guy, he wanted to write off for it, but they got him fixed, and he doesn't write off for hot water anymore. Okay. Anything else? Fire marshal just pulled up. As soon as he gets in here, we'll get him on the road. If you have not had the fire extinguisher training, everybody needs to stay for the first part. But when we go outside to use the fire extinguisher, if you've not had the fire extinguisher training, you're required. You need to sign up over here. Required to show you the fire extinguisher. We have